Alrighty, greetings all. This is episode 13 of Shellonomics here. We're going to be comparing and contrasting. We have the old school versus the new school for our podcast today. So really quick, we tried for a couple of weeks. I felt like I was in Jingle all the way. What we needed to do was we were trying to buy these from Walmart stores. We hit up a ton of these in Illinois, and unfortunately, we could not find any. It was a little ridiculous. People were buying these like they were going to go out of style. So finally, we went on the Walmart website, and we still couldn't get them. Donatello, they wanted $30 for. These new guys go for about 13 bucks. And finally, Walmart, they weren't going to, Playmates was not going to make these rare collectibles. This was not a limited set, not a limited release. So just a matter of time. So we finally have them, and we're going to compare and contrast the old school and the new school. So we'll start with the Leonardo. Now, for those who are unaware, I do have most of the old accessories from the original toys. I also have my Softheads. So Leonardo and Donatello, the older ones, I believe they all came with throwing stars, and then they had these little like Captain Hook type things right here, these little hookies. So what they did with the newer school was they gave them a nice little, place to rest on, and we also got a whole bunch of extra new weapons here. So we'll start with Leo. I believe these run for either $11.99 or $12.99 right now. I would say that's a good price. Funko Pops are like 10 bucks, and you really don't get that much articulation. So I think for $10, this is a good buy. But we're going to dig in a little deeper here, and we'll compare and contrast. For me personally, I really wanted these guys. I don't have a lot of turtle toys as much as I used to. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can see on the right that is my old toy collection. Had the giant Krang, the old giant turtles. Had a lot of the OG stuff, thanks to a lot of Facebook groups and friends from trading sites. All right, so here comes Leonardo out of the box. Now, he's got the grit. I do like the grit. You'll see the grit in the teeth here. We're going to notice a change that most people have been talking about, though, in regards to these figures. And you can see here is Leonardo's face does not match with his old face. We'll get to that in a little bit if you are new to the remastered turtles. So we're going to take out some of his stuff here. Got a new weapon now. I don't know why we need this new weapon. I'm not sure what this is supposed to do, like for a purpose. I guess just, trying to get more, meat for your buck, so to speak. Now, what's cool here is, and actually, this is actually interesting here. We just talked about this a few minutes ago here in regards to these little candy cane hooks. Leo doesn't have them in this one. He does get the throwing stars, and he gets that little dagger, which came with Mikey and Raph, the original set. So that's a little interesting there as well. And they have like a small one. So you do get a lot of pieces here. You do get the throwing stars, which is also nice. Really tied in there though. Oh, they got a little like there. They need some scissors to set these guys free. We haven't bought collectibles in quite some time either, so this is actually a lot of fun for me to do this on a Twitch live stream, which will be on Spotify and YouTube. If you guys have not subscribed to our Spotify channel and YouTube at Shellonomics, you guys can catch some more podcasts there. You can hear the crunch as we open this bad dude up. So here he is. So here's his articulation. Feels, for 13 bucks, this isn't that bad of a figure, in my opinion. I don't really care too much for the newer weapons. So we'll go ahead and go with his old weapons. See if they're easy to fit in his hand. And so far, I actually had an easier time with the older brown swords compared to these swords. They're not sliding in as easy as I would have hoped. But I'm guessing that means once they're in, they're in. So they're popping in now. We got one in there. We also have this little display. Here's the display on the back. Now, I want to know, too, in the comments below on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on Spotify, how many of these are you buying? So for me, if I had a kid, which I don't right now, I do have a nephew. If I were buying them toys, you know, I always debated, should I buy one for them to set free and then one to hold, just because me personally, I didn't think the Ninja Turtle toys of old would be as valuable as they are today. We're filming this in 2024, and the value of these old toys continues to rise. We've seen news vans scratch go for anywhere between, like, if you guys haven't checked out our latest episode too, our last one we did with the owner of TMNT he shares that he has a scratch figure and what the current rate is going for, if you guys want to check that video out. So we'll see. Okay, this is, now the older toys here, you did have that hole in the foot for better poses, I presume. This Leo here has 2 holes in his feet compared to the original. Let's go ahead and get his other sword in there too, folks. We'll give you a nice little picture when all is said and done. Here's my old bag of accessories from back in the day. So here's the old dagger. I guess I can pull that out too while we're doing this. Show you what I mean. So this is the new dagger, and this is the old one that came with Raph and Mike. Again, it's a little weird that I think Leonardo's getting one of those. And apparently it looks like from the box, all 4 of them are going to be getting those daggers, and not those, like, I just keep calling them candy cane hooks. So Leonardo can go to the side. Now we can go ahead and bust out Donatello here. I think Donnie will be second in command. He has to say. So this is the one that they were talking about in regards to your figures here, is why did they, I'm sure somebody had to ask these makers of these toys, why did they change the faces of Donatello and Leonardo? I don't understand that one. I don't know if that was just a whoopsie. Well, they did it a lot in the old cartoon too, where voices just weren't matching. So the boxes I'm having a little difficulty opening, so I'm probably not going to be able to keep my kind of Tasmanian devil through toys if I do set them free. Now this Donatello only gets 1 bow, and the old one came with 2. You know, it didn't really give you a good squeeze of Leo earlier, but this is pretty much what happens here, is the soft head. And Leo still has a soft head because it's like a bungee. So again, I like the soft head feel. I believe these were a choking hazard, and they had to re-release them. So we'll take out all these accessories. I'm gonna need a new plastic bag for. And these guys, for $13, you do get a lot of bang for your buck here. The stars have a weird spot in the box. They're unopened. They have like a little, almost like that little price tag you have on your hats and your shirts. So they're a little difficult to come out. It's almost like a rubber band glue. So I would give a C+ to a C- on the box opening here. We're setting these free live. Now I do like Donatello's bow here. He only gets 1 instead of 2. And if you guys watch the old episodes, I don't have the exact count, but I do know he does say that was my best bow in countless episodes. So you'd think they'd give him a second one. I am not sure what this little piece is, this little silver piece here. He's got some weird, like, medieval times sort of weapon here for a new bow staff. I don't know if this is what they thought. I'll have to ask somebody if they thought these were maybe the weapons they were thinking of using in an episode, like in the future. But let's go ahead and give you an up-close look at Donatello as we set him free from this box. It's going to take a while because, again, these dudes are in there pretty tight. I'm curious if that's just how all the new toys are. We got this really tight rubber band in there. He has been set free. Now, you'll notice too that the toy coloring, I did enjoy this growing up with all four of them having different colors. Let's see, the skin tone's a little different. So Donnie was always a little darker. Go ahead and hook you up with his bow staff here. Now, this is actually the other cool thing here is these weapons are color coded. I'm just noticing here. So Leo's katana, he's got the blue handle here, and Donnie's got the purple right in dead center. See if we can get this. Now the bow staff is going in a lot. Well, maybe not. It's like almost like a nice first reaction review too for those. So this video, I hope, and podcast will help those considering buying these toys. Donnie's feet are a little. Let's see here. Oh, okay, that's all of them. So you can twist their feet left and right, which you couldn't do with the old toys here. A lot more articulation in the legs. So here's the difference here. Again, here's the old Donatello and Leo. I'll put these up for you guys here. You'll see Leo has the left smirk, and Donnie's got the double smirk. And now on the new toys, Donatello actually has the Leo smirk, which I still don't get why they did that. And then you'll have the new Leo with the old school Donnie here. Alright, so that's 2 down. Go ahead and get his playset out. If you guys also want to drop us a follow on Instagram, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make a picture there with all 4 of them on their little playset. I think that'd be kind of rad to do. So I'll take out his playset here, and we'll go to Raphael next, number 3. I will say I'm enjoying opening these guys. I really haven't bought too many collectibles in the past few years due to storage. And I really am a big fan on those NECA toys. I just know I'm very scared if I buy one, I'm probably going to have to buy them all. So I really don't want to start there. If I start, I ain't going to stop. Although the ones I probably would ask for Christmas for my birthday, it's not even that much of a popular one. It's the one where it's a 4-pack of the NECA, and they're in disguise, and they've got the boombox. It's in episode 2 of the original episodes. I forget what the name of the episode's called. Mikey's got the boombox, and it's when April tells him about the rhino and the warthog, and Michelangelo says, "Come on, let's boogaloo." I always enjoyed that attire. I wish they had that attire a little bit more in some other episodes. All right, let's go to Raph. So I don't know what this new weapon is. It's a little weird here as well. Daggers and some weird. I just like the grit on these figures though. It's just like for some reason I'm having difficulty. I mean, since I'm not a pro collector here, that these boxes are getting eaten alive like mosquitoes. Okay, we're not going to be able to keep these boxes, so I may have to buy another set just to keep in safe, which I'm debating. I mean, for the price tag for $13, probably could. All right, so let's see how Raphael looks here compared to his old self and his new self here. So again, you'll see they kept the color of Raphael here. This is his old look. His new look, he's still got that kind of like a lemon limeish green, which I think is pretty cool for all of them to have different colors there. That's just my opinion. All right, let me get Leo's sword in here because I do want to show all 4 of them when we're done with their weapons. I would say I am not a fan of the, I guess I could say difficulty getting the weapons in their hands. I'm used to popping accessories like, a few seconds. I'm actually having a little difficulty getting these in here. So he's got them. We'll get back to Raph now. This is actually our second toy opening podcast. We actually did one a couple weeks ago where we bought a auction on shopgoodwill.com. It's similar to eBay. If you're ever looking for old turtle toys, it's more saturated compared to what it used to be. You used to be able to get like the rares for a good, good discount. But if you are looking to collect the old school toys, I'd recommend stopping there and just dig deep in the photos. Because sometimes you'll see the rare ones, like the one we bought had a Burn Thompson, not featured in the main photo. And he was the biggest piece. He goes for about 60 to 80 bucks. He was near complete. He was missing his Toon television. Well, let's get Raphael's size. Now, I do like Raphael's size, the new ones, compared to the old ones. I'm a fan of those. Yeah, I don't get why they all got the little daggers, and they did not get the other weapon. Well, let's see what happens here. This is his new weapon here. I don't really understand this one. You would think it would have been more something that I mean, it's more like a Donatello bow staff instead of having them two separate ones. I guess I'll put the rock and roll in it now. So you're going to hear the crunch again as we open this one. Also in the comments below, guys, let me know on the YouTube and Spotify if you plan on buying these, how you guys like them, if there's something you wish they would have done better. I mean, I think we are all in agreement here that the Leonardo Donatello face could easily have been fixed. I'm not sure why nobody in production caught that. I didn't actually look at the back of these guys to see if they can actually hold their weapons. So we're going to dig a little deeper into Raphael's sculpt right now. See, it's free. So looking at the back, Leo's able to hold his katanas in the back like he should. Donatello can also hold his bow staff in the back. Now again, if you look at the old Donnie, well, the old Donnie actually came with two bow staffs, but he could only hold one as well in the back. All that. Now let's give Raph his size, and then we'll go to Mikey. Raph weapons are a little bit easier to get in compared to Leo's swords. Still on the list a little, not difficult, but just takes a little longer. There's your new Raph. There's your old Raph. I would say, and again, Softheads. I love my Softheads. I wonder if they're going to remake Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady, Krang. Because this might be a collection, depending how they release these. I'd rather go for these than re-releases. I'd rather go for remastered than re-release. Just has a nice ring to it. And last but not least, time for the party dude. So, for me, immediately, this is still my guy from childhood. He hasn't left. I did have to buy newer nunchucks because his nunchucks busted. I think I'll always be a fan of these kind of chucks versus the chain ones. Even the chain ones are going to be a lot more superior. So, let's set this Mikey free here. And we'll get a final look at everybody. Now, I'm curious to see what Michelangelo's back is. For those catching us on the Twitch live stream, that is my old collection. I've posted that photograph for years. That's about, that was pretty much like start to finish. I sold most of that in 2020. I was looking for a place to live, and I never knew investing in turtle toys would actually pay for my first house. So that helped my down payment and then some. I kept my favorites. I still have my Technodrome, still have the original Turtles, Mouser, kind of like the original figures that were in the first 5 episodes. And I still have Casey Jones and a couple others. Toka, Razor. But yeah, most of the Giants, pieced out. I had all those minis. Those were nice. Like the Mighty Max ones. And again, I got those for good prices too. I was not... just another word of advice for those who are into collecting toys or anything in life. A good friend of mine actually gave me this advice, and he said, my collection comes to me. And I'm like, well, what the heck does that mean? And he's like, no, like if you actually understand it, it's pretty much just, you don't force it. You'll find it for the right place and the right price at the right time. And most of those there, I never actually talked about how I got my news fan. I guess I could do it here as I open the Michelangelo. So back on OfferUp, there was somebody parting with this whole collection. And he had it for $500. It was the news van and a couple other turtle toys, like I forget the name of the ones. It was the ones that are like they're like robot or toys, not the Mighty Mutations, but it was like they had like the little, like there was like a big turtle head. It was almost like a mecha suit turtle. He had those. He had a whole bunch of minis, and then he had a whole bunch of other lots on the side. And I noticed they were up there for actually 3 months. So I guess back then a lot of people weren't really heavily focused on OfferUp. It was more maybe Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and either Mercury or Mercury. So my brother and I talked, and we're like, let's just send him an offer. I mean, if he wants it all, it's been sitting there. I would just say, would you do 500 for everything? He said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I went there and got it all. And if you guys check out another old episode we had with our buddy John Coleman, who gives you his advice on turtle collecting and shares a lot of his rare pieces, he was the one who helped me sort through that because he knew all the accessories. And he's like, dude, you got a hell of a deal. I mean, at the time, I think he said that $500 purchase was at least $1,500 to $2,000. I can only imagine what it's the value is now. But I made a good buck selling all of them. What was nice too is it was somebody overseas in eBay was looking for most of them, and it was a lady getting toys for her son. So I almost had I won't cry on this podcast, but it was almost like a bittersweet moment we had too, because it was like how Andy passed his toys on, you know, in that Toy Story 3. So I actually did the same with the one kid. I gave him a better deal, and I was like, I know these are going to a good home. Be sure to take care of them. Enjoy them. And it was just like, you know, a little passing of the torch. Alright, so here's Michelangelo's new weapon here. This is like the, I don't believe this is called the Manrique Gassari, like he says in episode 3. And after that, Raphael goes, you're no match for Raphael, master of the manhole cover. What a sucker. Let's go and open up this chain box here. This is his new, like, you know, it's in, I'm surprised they didn't give him like a modern grappling hook, since that was like his go-to weapon in the old show, because nunchucks were like forbidden for most of the remaining part of the show. Nunchucks are going to be a little tough to get out, but we will get them out. I guess also, if you could go back in time, which one would you guys rather have? Would you rather have these remasters be your only turtles? Or would you still like those old Softhead? Which had nice, like, you know, 80s retro feel to them, pretty much. Because I do believe, I want to say there was a release for the 25th anniversary, and I didn't like those ones. I don't know if anybody was a fan of those re-releases. They tried doing that too, and I do remember they had the chains for Michelangelo with his nunchucks, and I wasn't a fan of those. So I'm curious if anybody enjoyed those. These are way better if you had to compare the 25th versus the new versus the original. Now let's get Mikey out of here. And I want all 4. Look at our bad boy here. Let's see if he is the master of the whirling nunchakus. So his chuck's going fairly easy compared to the others. Alright, so here's Mikey. So I probably would have enjoyed swinging these chucks when I was a kid with the chain, compared to this where nothing really happens. You really had to use your imagination with these old school ones. Let's go ahead and hold up all 4 of the new ones for you guys. Actually, no, first we'll do all the original ones. So again, you can just notice the height difference. And for the back, so Raphael cannot put his size in the back, which is similar to his old toy here. And Mikey is just like his old toy, though. He's got the 4 spots in the back. We'll go up all 4 of these. The old family. And I have the Softheads. I used to have the Hardheads too, but I just Softheads are better, in my opinion. So you got all 4 right there. I'll go ahead and post, like I said, on Instagram. I'll do a little updated one with their. So, you know, the other thing I would, not really a big bone to pick, I would have appreciated a little more uniqueness in regards to their little platforms that they came with. I believe they're all the exact same. Yeah, it looks like they have the pizza on one side. They've got like some ooze. I think it would be kind of cool if they made these a little bit more flavorful for each turtle. If they had like maybe a different color brick style, something like that. Let's go ahead and hold up all 4 new ones. So, if anybody is wondering, should you buy these? It's going to run you about close to a little over $50, I believe, for all 4 of them. I think these would make for a perfect birthday, Christmas gift. for somebody you know who's a huge turtle fan, and they're not that expensive. I think they'd have fun opening these up, putting these on display, especially if they don't have the old ones. Again, you can buy revised or re-released, but mine are the OG, and I wonder if that's going to hurt the market with all these new releases coming out, because I do hear too, as we're recording this live on Twitch right now, they did recently release a Technodrome revised product, and it's smaller. So again, you're going to have your pros and cons versus the original and the new ones. But I like these remastered. Decent articulation. Again, this is $13, guys. Now, how much would you spend on these? Like the max per figure? I would probably say the $13 now is good. I'd probably go maybe 20, but then I would have had to have a little bit more on that back. I think it's a good buy, though. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you guys did, let me know in the comments below, and we could do some more turtle talking. But for now, King Mike's going to be signing off, and we hope to see you in the next podcast.